Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Mace, coming to you right now from Vancouver Island, just on the west coast of beautiful British Columbia, here in Canada. And today, checking out a video. I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's a language. Miriwoong. The Australian language barely anybody speaks. So, European colonization of Australia led to the kind of eradication of a lot of languages, which I guess were mainly spoken languages. A lot of them weren't even written, or weren't written at all. To be fair, and even more are being kind of threatened to go out of existence. Just that's kind of the way things go. The same things are happening here in Canada with a lot of our First Nations, where the languages aren't getting spoken by the younger generations because they're becoming, I don't know, they're just becoming lost, those cultural things, because it's hard to teach them to the younger generations. The reasons for that, I'm not a sociologist, so let's just get into this one. Should be really interesting to watch, because I don't know much about Aboriginal languages in Australia at all.
My favorite word in Miriwoong is Jawinyan.
Jawinyan.
That means crocodile. My favorite Miriwoong
Jawinwin is a croc, and he did say it like Miriwoong. So Jawinwin
is Jawinyan, and that
Jawinyan.
means crocodile. My favorite Miriwoong word is Gai, which means grandma. My favorite word in Miriwoong is Wija.
Wija.
Means swimming.
It was the main language spoken here for tens of thousands of years, so that's super interesting. Obviously, languages evolve and they change, they get wiped out, new ones emerge, and the current ones evolve into different ones with slang and time, and new words being added to dictionaries, and the written word versus the spoken word, oral traditions. It's all pretty fascinating, actually.
The land is Miriwoong land, and it's where the language come from, There's language all around you. Everything we see has language. Everything that moves have language. All the food source and waters, rivers, they all have names. And that's how we can describe what it is, when it's something that a lot of people can't even describe today in English,
Ayo miwa wala buananda nganaima Mario bi
Yawarong, Road, Yermandan, Walanga, Yovaria.
Kono tawar Krokora
In modern Australia, it's difficult for any minority language to survive. Wherever you have a language that is very dominant, smaller languages will struggle.
First person replies, Olat, Juija, Gillijibin.
That's something that happens across many different mediums, like even in forests. Finance, like the dominant thing or the dominant object in that space is going to amalgamate and gather and more to it and become the dominant one, while a lot of the minority ones will suffer and eventually just disappear, fade.
People always assume that language needs to start in the home, but what is happening now is these kids, they learn language at school or in kindergarten, and they bring words back home that their parents didn't know.
Modern things come, we just have to give it a name in Miriwoong. Like when, the first car arrived in our country, Miriwoong people gave it a name, Kururit. And that actually comes from the sound that it makes, you know.
There is research that says
That's cool.
Indigenous people learning their ancestral language are more likely to be successful in life, which means they are more likely to get a job, they're more likely to attend school. They're also less likely to struggle with substance abuse, they're less likely to commit serious crimes. Transferring language to these kids will help them live a better life. Language means identity.
And learning languages is difficult. Even when you're immersed in that language, it's difficult, right? So you really need to be immersed and surrounded by it, or else it's difficult to learn. I'm trying to learn Filipino. I've been learning a bit of German. I find it's good for the brain and memory and all of that stuff, but it's difficult to learn it if you're in a different country and you're not surrounded by people that are speaking it all the time, so you can continually pick up things consciously and subconsciously over time, right? So yeah, languages and culture, it's interesting.
And where people identify with something that belongs to them, they grow stronger.
My grandfather and mother told me, don't throw your language away. Keep speaking up for it.
I just hope our kids grow up and speak it, you know.
I feel happy and I say, good on you, speaking Miriwoong language like me.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to how can they use it? Can they use it in everyday life, or is it more of just keeping it alive for the cultural sake of it? Yeah, it'll be a tall task over the coming years, right? It'll be a tall task to keep it going. I don't know how many people speak it even in Australia. Interesting. Cool. All right. See you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can leave things you want me to check out in the comments. I would appreciate that. And yeah, have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or morning. Cheers. Later.